Wow. Unbelievable timing from my co-host, who very strategically came in at the final second. At the final second. I love it. Good morning, Freddie Blanton. Happy Monday, LinkedIn world. What's that?
I say good morning.
Good morning. You know, it's funny. It's tough sometimes on a Monday morning doing this show, 7:55, getting the week started, getting our mind right. That's why we're here. Well, welcome to First Sip. Our guest is here. Our guest lives in Austin, Texas, Freddie. That's a cool place. He's a cool dude. It's a cool place. And he got up early, and he's the king of coffee, brother.
That's what I'm thinking.
So it just makes a lot of sense. So with that, good morning, Luke Frazier. There's the mug, too. That's a cool mug.
Luke,
gotta have a first sip. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I actually love that mug, dude. The last time I saw a mug like that was at Henrik Blott's house. That's a fantastic looking mug. And I said, Luke's going to bring a cool one. There's mine.
Oh.
It's got the big base. Got the big base, Luke. Bobcat.
Let's get our first sip. First sip, let's go.
Let's go.
I gotta,
Daniel, how do you keep finding all these dudes with great hair?
Hey, hey, this dude cuts his own hair too.
That's right.
I mean, not only does it look good, he is actually doing it himself. Now, how did you learn how to do that, Luke?
I was a self-taught barber for years, and because of it, someone hired me into their shop without a license.
Oh,
so don't tell the Pennsylvania board.
Okay, so now you were on Jeannie, Winnie, and the Average Dude, but I didn't get to ask you a whole lot about the things that you do, the way you got into podcasting, and how you got into brand and story, and all of the things that you talk about. And you're really good at it too. I mean, your demeanor on camera and everything, I think, is really impactful. How did you get into that world?
It's a great question. I have been in this world for the better part of 10 years, maybe a little longer. And it all starts with kind of a desire to become a better storyteller. Many people out here have probably heard of things like Toastmasters, and I was heavily involved in that years and years ago. And that, tied with handfuls of other things, got me excited about this world. And so one of the first things I ever did was start a podcast because I wanted to better connect with entrepreneurs or even pastors or creatives, people who were doing what they loved. And in doing that, I had to go figure out how to code a website and build a podcast and tie an RSS feed and get creative and film. And so because I did all these things, I realized I loved the creation process and the story process and the connecting with somebody else process, the getting to sit across from somebody else and sip a cup of coffee kind of mentality. And so that has grown and evolved over the years. I've worked freelance. I've started nonprofits. I've started for-profits. I've been on the B2B side, the nonprofit side. I've been on multi-million corporate side. Like I've been in all seats. And so today it's culminated in I'm a part of an agency right now. I'm the chief growth officer, and so I help clients strategize and figure out what do they say and how do they say it and where do they say it to whom. And so I do that. I get to do that now through an agency here in Austin called Good Agency. So.
Sounds like a good gig too. Good.
It's good. It's pretty dang good.
They've got a good man. Freddie Blanton, what's on your mind about what Luke just said?
Well, why do you think it's so hard for some people to go out and connect with people doing what they love? When you think it would be so easy and so beneficial, why do some people struggle with it?
Yeah. To be honest, I think there's two big things. One is we're all self-focused for the most part. And so we're constantly worried, well, what's someone else thinking of me? I've never met Freddie before. Freddie, what does he think of me? Is he okay with my hair? Yeah, but I think we're often so self-focused that we're not aiming when we go out into the world. We're not aiming to serve other people. There are plenty of people who are really good at this and who I really look up to. And for me, it's a little bit of a faith thing. I'm a follower, believe in Jesus, and so because of that, it's kind of imperative for me to be that kind of person. Whatever anyone's faith background, I think it's, especially we saw it with COVID, we're also really just isolated, and many people are, because of that, sort of live in these insecurities that we're worried so much about ourselves. And so anyway, I think part of an answer there is, hey, if you want other people to connect with you, you should be the first to say hi, to introduce yourself. You should be the first to ask open-ended questions, not just a, hey, how are you? But what you guys are even doing right now. Where did you learn that? Oh, I didn't, what are your favorite hobbies? Where did you enjoy to go out and do that? And so on the personal level, I think that's really easy obviously you can do that on the business level too. There's plenty of great salespeople and networkers out there who do that all the time. But to answer your question there specifically, I think the isolation and the insecurity are the two biggest issues, and we just have to be okay with that. It's honestly, I've gone up to people and say, hey, I don't know you. This is kind of awkward. Where do we start?
Yeah,
be candid about
you
it.
said that, Luke. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. A lot of people are buried in shame, right? For whatever reason, and they won't be themselves. They won't show who they are because they feel like they're going to be judged. And you may be judged, but then you'll also find the people that you vibe with.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've had a model recently.
Half are going to love you, half are going to hate you, right? I mean,
someone asked me recently, I've been doing tons of more videos on LinkedIn. Someone asked me like, well, how do you what are you looking at with the metrics and stuff? And I literally was like, I just don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care what the metrics are. I don't care who looks at it. But I've had amazing conversations in the DMs and even stuff like this, where now we're getting to have this deeper conversation. To me, that's what matters.
I do want to, we have a segment, the quote of the day. I hope you have a quote. If you don't, Freddie may have a backup quote. But what I wanted to say that I think is important to mention, he was in Toastmasters. He was in Toastmasters young. I was in Toastmasters late. But the same, basically, Luke started what I started, except he started in college. I started about 40 years old. I mean, seriously. But it's a great path. I mean, for people out there getting involved in Toastmasters, doing what you're talking about, it's a good waters to swim in, because that's the last thing AI is going to eat up. It's the last dot that AI is going to take from us.
That's right.
So, hey, we're going to do a little intro here. This is really fantastic.
Quote of the day. Quote of the day.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's a little intro for the quote of the day. Anybody, I don't care if it's a preacher or your dad or your mom, somebody has said something to you. What's some words of wisdom that Luke Frazier has?
Yeah, I think it's pertinent to the conversation that we're having already, and it's pertinent to brand and business. And that's, if you try to be everything to everyone, you're going to end up being nothing to nobody.
Woo! I love that one. Yeah, absolutely. So with that, Freddie's right now, I'm going to get his thoughts, but I've got to say, I'm the average dude, but I would much rather be the average dude than nobody, right? I mean, that's who I am. I mean, so you kind of embrace who you are, and whoever that is better than being nothing. Because believe me, folks, I spent 20 years doing nothing, being nothing. And so I'd rather define myself as an average. I ain't got an identity, right? I love that quote. Freddie?
Oh, yeah, being authentic. If you try to match everybody and be fake to certain people in certain situations, you're going to wind up losing yourself and being nothing when it counts. So just be authentic. And at the end of the day, like we mentioned earlier, people are going to like you for you, or they won't. And you just keep meeting new people and keep on trucking.
Yes,
that's right.
I love it. Conforming, Luke, what do you think? I mean, I think that,
Yeah.
really that differentiating yourself and not following the herd in whatever capacity that means, but thinking for ourselves and individuality and that sort of thing. To me, that is brand, right? The more specific you are to who you are, as Henrik Blot says, he says, basically flex your weaknesses, right? I mean, those are the things that differentiate you, or whatever, those things that maybe you do feel insecure about or self-conscious about. It's the combo, the talent stack, right? So of
really
different qualities that makes us boom. Love that, Luke. David Turner, thank you for joining. Russ. So then we do this one final segment here, Luke, and so much appreciate you joining us this morning. But this is called the 2 minute skill.
Get ready. It's time for the 2-minute skill.
The 2 minute skill, clear, concise communication, 2 minutes or less. Luke, you have something you want to speak on this morning?
Absolutely. Always. Put me
I
in,
love
Coach.
it. I love it, brother. All right, you got the floor. 2 minutes.
Very much in line with everything we're talking about this morning. One of the things that I think is really pertinent for people who are trying to build a brand or market themselves is this idea. You need to meet people where they're at. And what I mean by that is you will get nowhere trying to come up with a grand idea that you think you have, your product, your service is so powerful because you felt like you solved a need somewhere. If it doesn't resonate with the people who are going to buy it, if you can't literally or digitally meet them where they're at, empathy wise, authority wise, connection wise, you will never have a great product, service, or thriving business. And so to be able to have a profitable business or be just an awesome person, you have to learn that it's okay to not be right all the time or be the person speaking all the time. And actually, it's better off if you can learn how to get on someone's level, walk a mile in their shoes, per se, to be able to understand how they think, act, or want to be engaged with. And once we're at that level, then we can create something powerful for that person. And on top of all of that, not just meet them where they're at, but create for the one, meaning don't try to create for the masses, create for one person who it could solve.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Freddie, where'd your mind go?
Well, this happens to me, or I could be in this situation a lot. I have people come in here. They know the exact need for their business. They know the machine they're looking for. I could easily walk out here and take them from, hey, I know you need this machine, but I want to sell you this massive excavator, although you don't need it. And if I continued to do that to people, I would be the laughing stock of the industry and lose trust from everybody.
Absolutely. Meet people where they're at. How many times, I always like to put myself in that situation. Have you ever had somebody talking to you about something and they're telling you about the features or something and you're like, I don't give a rat's whatever, right? I mean, so it's painful. Very often the communication, words are wasted, right? Like so much of what we all say is kind of, it's for us. We're not saying it for them. Right? It's this, we really almost trying to sell ourselves more so than really thinking about how is this landing. And the great communicators, they're very deliberate with those words and they use them strategically and stay on point. Luke, Freddie, final thoughts. We're 30 seconds away from letting everybody go. Have a great day.
Man, my final thought is again, be others focused, be a blessing to somebody today.
I love it. Freddie, what do you think?
I saw a video that Luke did, and he was talking about marketing, and he said you need to educate, entertain, and engage. Ooh. And that stuck with me when I watched that. So every time we do this show, it makes me think that we need to educate, entertain, and engage the audience. And Luke did that.
Amen.
I love it. Way to pull it out, guys. Great show. I think we did a good job of getting everybody's mind right. Luke, you got up early. Appreciate you, man. First time getting across to to a different time zone there. So that was a lot of fun. So appreciate
Well,
you, man.
You caught me at my second hour of the day, so we're good.
Okay. Sweet. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
See you.
Let's roll.